Hey everybody, Stacy here from Paycheck, and I'm so glad you guys have joined us this week for our pitch hack of the week. For those of you who are new, we cover tips and tricks on pitching, pitch decks, sales decks, live presentations, and investor presentations. So if you're a startup looking for funding or an established company looking for new customers, maybe you're even in an accelerator or an incubator program, all of you can find value in our pitch hacks here. So let's hop right into it. What's this week's pitch hack of the week? Alrighty, this week's pitch hack of the week is how do you customize a sales deck per client? If you've been putting together a pitch deck for sales, meaning you are selling to maybe like an enterprise company or a corporate company or larger company in which you're taking a longer time to court that company, communicate with that company, get to the right decision maker or stakeholder, and then have a conversation with that person, you're very likely going to be putting together a presentation that you're going to go through during that meeting. When you're putting together a presentation for sales, you want to make sure that you're focusing on your customer. You don't want to spend the entire time talking about your company. You're not talking about the 20,000 years of experience that you guys have, or all the successful projects you've done, or all the features that your product has, or how it works. Those are all valuable pieces of information, but when you're putting together a presentation for a potential client, they want to know that you know their pain and that you have a solution for that pain, that you really understand them and you're talking in their language. So you don't want to spend a ton of that time talking about yourself. Instead, you want to make sure it's very tailored and focused on that particular client. So when you're putting together a sales deck for those kinds of meetings, you want to make it very easy for you to customize the deck for that client. So there's a couple different ways to do that. What I'm going to kind of talk through here is imagining it as if I am maybe the head of a sales organization and I'm putting together a sales or presentation deck that I'm letting my team use, right? And my team is going to be using that deck to put together customized decks for each of their potential clients. And this can work just the same if it's just you and you're the entire sales team, or if you have a large team of people. When you're putting together this deck, you want to make sure it's very, very usable, very modular is what I would call it, so you can kind of lift and shift things. And there's a couple different ways in which you can make sure you can customize it using this approach. So first of all, the easiest way to make something customized to a particular client is you make it very easy to insert a logo for that client. So the title slide should have the client's logo right on there. Maybe it's our logo plus client logo, right? You want to make it very, very easy to input that information. So we have a spot ready right there on the title slide for our team to drop in a logo. We teach them how to do it. We give them access to, finding the logos for our customers, that sort of thing. And that way, on the very, very first slide, we're already saying, hey, I know you, I made this deck for you. Even though maybe this one is very similar to all your other decks with a few tweaks or minor changes, it can still be very nice to see, my logo as the potential client right there up front and center. Another way to think about customizing your deck for each of your clients is to consider that you have different customer segments, groups of customers that are similar to each other but different from each of the groups, right? So maybe you have types of customers that are selling to a particular audience or with a certain kind of business model or a size client, right? Maybe it matters if it's a really big company you're talking to versus a small one. Maybe some clients are going to use a product in a certain way or a certain subset of your product line, whereas other clients are going to use or gravitate towards another product line, right? So you can understand who those customer groups are, and you can build sets of slides that talk to that particular customer group. And then you can sort of lift and shift those slides. You just kind of place in the slides that pertain to that particular customer group and customize the title slide, and you have a deck that's already well on its way to being customized to a particular client. That way you have certain conversations with certain clients and other kinds of conversations with other groups of clients that pertain particularly to what they care about and what product lines or what value propositions that you're providing matter to them. So make it really, really easy on your team to be able to kind of lift and shift those in. Another way to customize it is think about what kinds of case studies you can provide. So very commonly in sales presentations, we want to offer some sort of idea of the success other clients of ours have seen. those other clients have been successful with our product. Maybe they've saved money, they've increased their effectiveness, they've reduced their payroll. I don't know what it is, whatever the benefit to that customer is. We want to show what that benefit is, how they used our tool. It can be very good to provide this sort of tangible example, so our potential customers can kind of look at those and be like, ah, that's similar to my company. I could benefit in that way, right? It's very easy to see that when I see an example of a customer that's seen that value for themselves. Maybe even a testimonial from that client can be super, super valuable when you're presenting to a potential sales target. So when you're trying to customize to a potential sales target, let's look at all of our options when it comes to case studies. Let's create a case study slide for every single customer that we possibly can, right? Then we give our sales team these as options, these different case studies as options to, again, lift and shift and place in the deck for that particular client. So now I have the beginning of the deck saying, I know you, you're my customer, I understand what you're going through. We have slides in there that pertain directly to that customer group and are talking to them and about what they care about. We talk about what our products are and how they work and what we think we recommend for them, given what we know about that company. And then at the end, we have some case studies that are very, very close, similar companies to this company we're pitching to. How customized would that be? That'd be fantastic. Our customers would completely think that we built that deck especially for them, that we spent hours making sure that we were going to win this sale. And instead what we did is we created a very modular, editable deck that can be used no matter what client or client group we're speaking to. So that's our pitch hack this week. I hope that answered your question on how do you customize a sales deck per each client. If you have any thoughts on how you've customized sales decks for your clients, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. If you have ideas for upcoming pitch hacks, submit them below as well, and I would love to answer them in an upcoming pitch hack. We put out new pitch hacks every single week, so give us a little thumbs up if you want to see us again, and I hope to see you here again soon. Happy pitching!